Welcome back to the channel, guys. It looks like Black America is slowly waking up. Well, let's hope they wake up in time for 2024 election. With that said, let's get into the video.
It's not just that Donald Trump is saying and doing racist things. He's also implementing policies that are hurting and impacting negatively communities of color.
I don't think Donald Trump is doing an awful lot to appeal to African-American voters.
All the policy that he's put forward has been anti-people of color.
Now, we hear those lines all the time, but here are the facts. Since President Trump took office, black unemployment has hit an historic low and currently sits at about 6.7%. And by the way, he's not satisfied with that. He wants it a lot lower, but still pretty great. The number of African Americans employed is up more than 4%, and the most stunning of all, African American wages, this is my favorite, are up more than 9%. Here now in a truly special debate. I'm so happy about this. Candace Owens, Brexit movement founder and conservative commentator, and Cornel West, professor of philosophy at Harvard University and professor emeritus at Princeton. Dr. West, I also want to tell you, I really appreciate your coming on the show. You're an old style liberal. I don't mean old and old. I mean, but you like debate and conversation, and I think that's just awesome. So thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. And I want to begin with a simple question, Dr. West. Are the president's policies, let's just focus now on his economic policies, are they helping the African-American community, in your view?
No, I think that the statistics certainly look good through a narrow lens, so I give him credit in that regard. But we have to keep in mind that on the one hand, you still have grotesque wealth inequality, you have job insecurity, so many people who are working more than one job. We know many people who have withdrawn from the labor force are not counted at all. But I think the problem is, though, my dear sister, is that the president has a language that creates an atmosphere that is so xenophobic against black folk, Mexicans, Muslims. He rarely wants to stay in contact with their humanity. So when you look at the statistics, that's one thing. But when you create an atmosphere and an ambience of xenophobia, it reinforces the polarization, and therefore many black folk wouldn't even be able to connect the statistics that look good with the language, the atmosphere that feels so bad. And that cold-hearted, mean-spiritedness is something that cuts very, very deep in the spirit of people.
Have you met him? Have you?
Before she gets in there, see, that's what I said before. Donald Trump tells it like it is. Yes, he's not. Yeah, we know how he gets sometimes. Some things he should just keep to himself. But you need a president like that with a backbone that tells it like it is. Oh, a few little mean tweets. Suck up. Suck it up. We have become so... You guys realize how soft the society has came? No, they're soft on crime. It's just ridiculous. The suspects are the victims are the suspect. This is how soft we got. And you want Donald Trump to... The black community. Do you see what's going on in the majority of the black community? The violence? You need somebody with a backbone in order to gain control of that. You want him to be soft. A little few mean tweets. You see, like, this is what they want. They want a president that does cowards tuck his tail in. No. Obama was just a good talker. That's all he was. Look at that. Obama was a what? Black president. Well, say biracial president. How much did he do for the black community? Every time you ask them that, you know what they do? They make excuses up. Oh, the right always blocked everything he tried to pass. They always find an excuse. Always.
Have you met him, Dr. West? Ever met the president?
No, I've never had a conversation with my right wing brother. I mean, you know, I've called him a gangster and a proto-fascist in terms of separation of powers. But he's a human being. He's a human being, and I could, you know.
No, I'm just saying this because look, you and I don't agree a lot, but I actually really like you. I think I just like the fact that you're out there and you're advocating. I have no problem with it, and I wouldn't call you mean-spirited. We disagree, but I think if you actually were with the president, you might find that you could accomplish a lot together and you could do a lot together. I really believe that. He'll work with pretty much anybody, and that's what I found in my experience. So I'm just throwing that out there. Candace.
For Candace said, see, I like how she just said that. Remember when Ice Cube went to the White House? Who's the one that offered to talk to him? and try to come up with solutions. Who was it? It was Trump.
But there is this tonality issue that people seize on with the president. And they always go back to Charlottesville. They always go back to this S-hole countries. Those are the two things they really seize upon, the travel ban. Those three things probably, for some, just wipe out any other accomplishment. Your reaction?
Well, look, I think the president is doing something different. Definitely his tone is different because he tells the truth and he doesn't pander to Black America. He hasn't offered us hot sauce. He's offered us jobs. That makes many people uncomfortable because they're from an era where race hustling is a business. They're used to telling Black Americans that they're victims, writing books about victimhood, and that is no longer selling in America. And I just wanted to comment back on saying that xenophobia is something that Black Americans are afraid of. Xenophobia means that you have a fear, Mr. West, of foreigners. Black Americans are not foreigners in this country. We are a piece of the American dream. We've earned a piece of this American dream, and we're getting tired of people telling us that we are somehow separate of it. I mean, that's really what I have to say. We're doing tremendous under this presidency. There is no candidate that is offering anything on the left to counter what Trump has offered. They're just offering more rhetoric, more fear-mongering, and unfortunately, time is up on this narrative. We are ready to move on and embrace our futures.
I like how she just said that. A lot of people, I see them, some of my comments are telling me, like when I speak on reparation, they'll be like, oh, you a foreigner, you're not even from here. Well, I've been living in America for over what? About close to 25 years. I came up here when I was a little kid. So I have a lot of Black American friends, all right? You think when I'm driving a car and a cop comes behind me, you think he cares what foreign country I'm from? All he sees is a Black man. Not all cops, but you know the ones I'm talking about. All they see is a Black man. They don't care about my accent. They don't care that I'm from a foreigner. All they see is a Black man. Understand that. Get that through your head. All because I'm a foreigner and I won't get on board with the reparations? No, I believe in working hard. I believe if you want to succeed in life, you have to work hard for what you want in life. Sorry, I grew up different. I can't just go along to get along. No.
Oh, Dr. West, go ahead.
If I can come straight, I mean, first, xenophobia in the generic sense means the fear of other. And Black folk have been others, enslaved, Jim Crow, Jane Crow, and so forth. So if you want to, the narrow understanding is just foreigner, but it's the other. Those who have been otherized, those who have been marginalized in this sense. But think of when you call my dear sister Maxine Waters low IQ.
She does have a low IQ.
That's vicious.
That's a fact.
You said what?
That is a fact. If she took an IQ exam, you would find out that Maxine Waters had a very low IQ. And I will push that challenge. It may not be nice, but it is truth.
Okay.
When he calls Brother Colin a son of a bitch, you see, this kind of language is ridiculous.
I have never used that language.
Not you.
No, I'm talking about the president. I'm not talking about you, my sister. I'm talking about the president.
West, look,
the president called Brother Colin a son of a bitch.
Okay, but
Is that the only thing they could bring up? Trump is mean. You realize that? And everybody's debate about President Trump. He's mean. He don't like this one. He don't like this one. That's all they could bring up. Bring up something else.
I think that's a fact.
Yeah, I think the nasty language, it's on both sides. I mean, it's on, if they call him a gangster,
Thank you.
I mean, so we can play that game all night
That's
long.
true.
But I do want to get this out. I want to get to this. The prevailing wisdom, I think Dr. West, highlighted this, is that race relations have deteriorated almost under this president. That's the thought. And that Obama was the great racial healer. Yet, in a new study by a pair of sociologists at UPenn, this is not some conservative outlet, they found that, quote, anti-black prejudice declined by a statistically insignificant degree between 2012 and 2016. But then after 2016, it took a sharp dive. There was also a general fall in anti-Hispanic prejudice, too. So, Professor West, to what do you attribute these findings? So prejudice is on the downswing, not on the upswing, at least in these first few years.
But you're going to find an excuse. Watch. You're going to find an excuse.
Well, based on this particular study, I'd have to examine how they gather their evidence and so forth. But anti-Jewish attacks, anti-Muslim attacks, anti-Mexican attacks, and not just anti-black attacks, but also the police departments, the militarizing of the police departments, the withdrawal of the investigations when police do, in fact, shoot fellow citizens, whatever color they are, but disproportionately chocolate, disproportionately black and brown.
That
was happening.
Absolutely.
Obama, like
That's
Ferguson
true.
and all
That's
that
true.
stuff, right?
That's true.
It's not the
I'm just talking about continuities.
That's dishonest.
Yeah.
No. He tried. He
Right,
tried.
but I do want to share this. This was a moment that I think, again, going back to what Candace has worked on and spoken about, and what Dr. West, I think you two could actually be happy about together. Happened at the White House. I think it was last month, and it was an event commemorating the First Step Act. Let's watch.
And I really thank you for signing that bill. When you signed it, when y'all passed this, I could have fell through the floor.
I'm an example of a woman who has been given a second chance in life.
And it's an experience that I'll never forget.
2 months ago, I was in a prison cell, and I'm in the White House. That's continue to make America great again.
Now, Dr. West, I mean, I don't think they were feeling xenophobia or mean-spiritedness. I think they actually found a president who was willing to work with people who really didn't even like him and didn't think he was probably going to accomplish much. And it got almost no coverage. I think we played it on our show, maybe a few other places, but it didn't get any coverage. What's your reaction to seeing that?
No, I think that's a very important attempt to zero in on this vicious policy in the last 40 years of mass incarceration, punitive attitudes toward those engaged in various kinds of crimes. I've been blessed to teach in prisons for 37 years. The Raw Way to Step program. I was just in Norfolk. It's something that has an impact on the ground, and I'd give the president credit for that. It's not as if he has nothing to offer. It's just that the dominant orientation is still tied to what I'm critical of both parties. Because identity politics for me is milquetoast neoliberal politics that don't talk about corporate power, don't talk about poverty, don't talk about militarism. But the Republicans still strike me as so cold-hearted, mean-spirited, and they're still tied to corporate power and Wall Street and won't hit poverty head on. But when it comes to prison, when it comes to statistics, I give the president credit for that. But it's still small relative to what I'm looking for. I see it in neither both parties other than Brother Bernie Sanders, but that's another dialogue, as you know.
Bernie.
Just give the man. Why you gotta just give the man credit without the other side of the bashing. Give the credit when the credit is due. I can't. It doesn't matter. You know what I recognize as I watch that footage? You guys let me know in the comments. Trump energy. It's such a. He has a positive energy. You could tell he wasn't feeling awkward around the black people. He felt right in there. He felt welcome right in there. Let me know in the comments. Trump fit right in there. He didn't act no certain type of way. It felt very pleasing to see. His energy was perfect. Let's give the man credit. He did way better than Obama for the black community. Why can't people just accept that?
Well,
we won't go into that right now.
No, we won't go to that. But I have to go back to this idea of race relations under Obama, which I almost fell out of my chair in the CNN story that came out in October of 2016. They got worse. 54% of Americans said they got worse. Only 16% said they got better. This was at the end of the Obama administration. So as Cornel West said, you had Ferguson, you had Freddie Gray in Baltimore, you had all this stuff bursting out on the streets of America with the first African-American president in the White House. And that healing didn't seem to take place.
Right. Look, at that point, I was on the left. So when Barack Obama first went into office, I was a liberal, and I changed my mind due to exactly what you're saying. He drove this nation apart. President Trump is bringing this nation together because what he is talking about is patriotism. Patriotism knows no sex, it knows no color, it knows no creed. The liberal media can ignore all the work that he's doing in Black America all they want. Every statistic in the world shows you right now that Black support for Donald Trump has doubled, and that is meaningful. And I'm telling you that by 2020, he is going to be the first president to crack the Black vote to the detriment of the Democrats.
Hey, Professor West, I want to. Do you still do work in prisons? Do you still do it?
Absolutely.
Can I come with you? Can I come with you on one of your?
You can come anytime you like. We're going to keep track of the humanity and rich imagination and intelligence of our brothers and sisters who are incarcerated to make sure they have a better chance to keep and make sure that they can unleash their potential. But I say to Sister Candace that I like her independence of mind. I think she's wrong most of the time. I fight for her right to be wrong in that regard. But I would wish that she would have moved. Absolutely, but I would have wished that you would have moved further to the left, because when you have a
Nah,
Black Lives Movement
y'all
under a
crazy
black
on the left.
president, it's not going to be a matter of then moving to the
Mr.
right,
West,
where they have been using.
socialism has already been tried in our community. It's been tried via welfare policies, and has completely crippled the black community. It has completely crippled the black family via the welfare policies. You know that. So I had to creep all the way to the right. And I have to tell
Socialism
you,
is
I'm happy
power
here.
sharing. Socialism
you know
is not
this is a fact.
giving
black
and becoming
go
people
conservative.
dependent
Black
on
conservatives
programs.
never
It's
go
power
liberal.
sharing.
Mr. West, I appreciate your time, but you know black liberals go conservative, but black conservatives never go liberal, and there's a reason for that.
And
You're on the side of
I would just add that Wall
I don't know.
Street.
Black people are complicated. Black people are complicated. We
We're
go
not
back
that
and forth, but I wish we had more black leftists.
All right, guys, we got to go. This is a fascinating conversation. We have to have you both back. Thank you very much, both of you, for being here.
Oh, there you have it, guys. There you have it, guys. Hey, Dr. Cornel West, come on. Stop it. The black community was doing very well under Trump. Was doing very well. Yes, we're being employed. People getting tax breaks in their paychecks, which at the end of the month, even if it's $40 a week, at the end of the month, that's almost $200 you just saving in your pocket. That's grocery money. You see, this is what I don't like about the left. Yes, division when Obama was the president, it got worse. Division, it got worse in America, right? Because he was the first black president. I like to say he's the first biracial president, but I'm gonna just stick with the regular saying, first black president. It was worse. He didn't do anything for the black community, and they keep saying, "Oh, the right was blocking everything." All right, so what if he was? What if they were? What has he been doing now in the black community? Do you see how bad it is right now with the violence in the black community? Do you see the smash and grab, the lootings? The majority of the videos, it's in the black community. They're doing that in their own communities. And who is in power right now? The left, right? The left is in power. So why is it so bad? It is worse right now in the black community. It's ridiculous right now. Trump was there for America. They took the whole Make America Great Again and turned it into like the white people. Like it's all about the white people. That's what they did. And BLM, this is when it got worse for Trump. BLM made it worse in 2020 when the George Floyd situation happened. All because Trump said some mean tweets. He called the looters thugs. He called them certain names, right? But that's you smashing and grabbing. You destroying property. You destroying stores. What is that then? What do you name that? Give Trump credit when he deserved. Trump was the only one that accepted Ice Cube with open arms when Ice Cube came to try to find solutions for the black communities. Trump was the only one. Biden administration turned them down. Trump accepted them. But then Trump was replaced. So that transaction never took place. And then when Ice Cube did that, the black community, I was disappointed. They bashed Ice Cube. Oh, they call Ice Cube a sellout. They call him all type of names. The same thing they did with Steve Harvey. Like, anytime you try to lift up your own community, it's like for some reason, they bash you. Doesn't matter how good you tried. Doesn't matter how much good you're trying to do for the community. They find a reason to still bash you. And that guy wasn't having it. We see he works in the jails. I'm still seeing them cells being filled up with black Americans every day. Every day. Don't talk about the laws in California. In laws in California, it's ridiculous. It's freaking ridiculous. I see a lot of people are moving out of California right now. Because certain parts of California, it's like the victims have no rights. Can you imagine the times we're living where the victims have no rights? Trump was doing it for the American people. He was doing it for everyone. Yes, he said some mean things. Get over it already. People become so soft. Now you can't say something without offending somebody. Like, are you serious? You saw when they showed the clip of the few black Americans when they're giving Trump his credit. Well, then let's give the man credit. Is it that hard? It doesn't matter how much good Trump does. They're always going to find a reason. They're always going to find a reason to oppose him. Doesn't matter how much good he tried to do. They're always going to try to oppose him. Look what they do to Ice Cube. Look what they say to me when I'm just one of the best for the black community. All because I don't agree with reparations. I have opportunities. Yes, we know there's systemic racism, but I have a lot more opportunities than my ancestors ever had, man. And I'm a man that appreciates that. I think we all should. We all should see what the left is doing right now. They are destroying America. This is not the same America it was when in early 2000. It wasn't 2010. Things are getting worse. There's more race division. No, there's more gender division. There's so much division right now. We are so far away from each other. It's ridiculous. But I hope we come together in 2024 and we make a change. I really hope we do. Because the left, what they're doing right now, it's not working. They are not the answer. Don't let Joe Biden hit you with that. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. If you do or you don't, at the end of the day, you're still going to be black. You can tell me that ain't the most racist thing. Hey, but you guys take on the video, man. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Obama was not for us, man. BLM was not for the black community. BLM and Obama, they were in it for themselves. Just accept that. Obama is rich. BLM, rich. You see where this is going? Are they out there helping the black community? No. Get over it. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. You guys have a blessed day.